So kind of,
I'm helping him out.
hey, so Rolly's kind of the one who won in this deal.
He got lucky.
Yeah, Rolly's always somehow finds a way.
The roly-poly, he just rolls in.
You know, don't try too much. You know, Rolly's going to give you everything you want. So kind of just going to let the fight come to me, and then I'm going to take over. You know, I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel.
Garcia with his 12 million followers on Instagram and another 1 million on X is in a position to shake up the boxing world. He's got the fan base, the looks, the power, and he's been recently using it to fire shots at Rolly, warning him of a possible early knockout. In the recent press conference, Garcia is still doing what he does best, trying to intimidate his opponent. However, if there's anyone who has been completely unbothered by Ryan's cold threats, it's Rolly.
I see that that's the most tension. Is there real beef there, or is it just you want to get ahead and you see him as a guy that you sparred a lot and you feel you should be in that position?
No, I want to chop that kid's head off.
Just recently, Garcia even made it clear that he didn't even consider Rolly as a worthy opponent, admitting that his focus is on the rematch with Haney. "I'm really focused on whooping Devin Haney again," Garcia said. "That's all I'm really worried about, not even to redeem myself, just to cement that Austrian nonsense," which he probably set up. However, Rolly doesn't really seem to mind that Garcia's focus is in another fight.
Rolly, he just said he's looking past you to fight Devin Haney. That doesn't concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight. You're just going to be a bump in the road.
He can think whatever he wants. He knows me too well. So.
How easy is it going to be? How long will Rolly last with you in the ring?
Facts. I answered it for him. About 2 seconds. No, I mean, he's going to come to fight. I'm not taking him lightly or anything like that. You know, I'm still going to try my best. But, you know, everybody really wants to see the rematch. And that's where my heart's at. So,
Garcia has had his share of troubles. No doubt about that. Last year, things got so bad that he parted ways for 3 months with Guadalupe Valencia, who has been by his side for 7 years as his manager. But now they're back together, and according to Valencia, Garcia has made serious progress. Everyone around him, his family, his friends, everyone who knows and loves him was really concerned and worried about him, Valencia admitted last year. "I can't pinpoint the exact time, but at some point it became a very difficult time for him. Yeah, I was worried, but at the same time, in the 7 years I've been with Ryan, I always believed he would come back," and this is something even Garcia's dad has been saying ever since the fight was announced.
Not want to mess around with that. When you're doing tequila, when you're smoking, you're doing shrooms, don't do that, because the mind is very sensitive, fragile. It's fragile. You know, especially, I mean, they say liquor is bad for you, you know, and if you continue doing it, it gets worse. But if you're doing that and you're doing, and then you're doing shrooms, thank you. Oh, it's a recipe for disaster. And that's exactly what happened. And I just thank God that look at him now. Doesn't he look better?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. So,
It looks different.
It's better. It's beautiful. I love it.
Henry, when did you notice that Ryan needed like real help in order to the way he sees right now, in order that he became, you know, clean?
Well, I noticed that when he was talking the way he was talking, the way he was doing his videos, and he never posts that many times.
Garcia is a star, but he's not walking among the legends, yet he's not on the level of Floyd, Mayweather, Manny, Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, Mike Tyson, Sugar, Ray, Leonard, or Oscar de la Hoya. He's got more work to do. He needs to build his legacy, and the best way to do that is by delivering highlight reel knockouts. That's what sells in boxing. That's what makes you a megastar. Romero is the next name on Garcia's hit list, and Garcia is talking like he's already got the job done.
I put Rolly to sleep with a left hook. That's it. That's what you're going to see. Period.
If Garcia delivers on this promise, if Romero ends up laid out on the canvas unconscious while Garcia climbs the ropes and celebrates with the crowd at Times Square, then yes, a new star will be born. He's got the tools. But now is the time to put everything together. He can't just rely on natural talent. He needs to prove he's disciplined, focused, and ready to take over. Tank is a big star, But he's not as big of a star in my opinion as Ryan Valencia said. Ryan can be the biggest star in boxing, the face of the entire sport. He has the potential to be like Floyd and Oscar. The skills are there, he's got the charm and the story. I think he's the next pay-per-view star and the next face of boxing. But even though Ryan has improved much better mentally, Rye couldn't skip a chance to fire words at him.
He's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. The only people he cannot beat happens to be myself, Gervonta Davis, and depression. So.
Saying Ryan could become the next star is a bold claim, but it's not crazy. Garcia has the potential, but potential doesn't mean anything unless you maximize it. His biggest challenge isn't a punch with knockout power or a defensive wizard who makes fights ugly. It's himself. Mental battles are real. They can make or break a fighter. It's a fight he needs to win. It's a fight he has to win. Just like fights are won round by round, Garcia has to take his mental health day by day. He's on the verge of something huge, but the pressure is only going to get bigger. That's the final chapter he has yet to write.
But it's gonna get real ugly out there, like ugly. I'm not looking to fight or box. I'm looking to fight.
Okay.
At a recent promotional event, Garcia didn't hold back when talking about his true intentions as far as Raleigh as an opponent. He was not my first choice, it was Pitbull Cruz. But things played out a different way. I'm really focused on whooping Devin Haney again. That's all I'm really worried about. Not even to redeem myself, just to cement that Austin nonsense, which you probably set up, he said. But Garcia isn't completely overlooking Romero.
Who would you say is another good trash talker in boxing?
Right now, man, really, I mean, just that retarded ass fool, Rolly, to be honest. Rolly right now probably runs his mouth the most, but he can't back it up. There's a difference between me and him. I talk a lot of trash, but I've been backing up everything I've been saying so far. But probably Rolly.
What do you think of his fight with Ryan that's been announced? They're fighting in May in Times Square, New York City.
I think that's a better fight for Ryan, publicity-wise, than Isak Cruz. And I think it's going to be a good fight, man. I think Ryan's going to knock him out, but the whole build-up to that fight, I think they're definitely be able to sell a lot, just because they both got a...
He's making sure he's prepared, even if his mind is still locked on Haney. He's training to face the best version of Romero possible. Though he doesn't believe it'll be enough to keep him standing, I'm still going to train my best. But everybody wants to see the rematch, and that's where my heart is at, so I've just got to prepare. Well, I know I'm the better fighter, and I'm going to knock him out, he said, and true to his word, he's putting work back at his camp.
Yeah, you got the best left. The best left in the world.
Romero isn't buying into the Garcia hype. He's throwing shade right back, questioning whether Garcia even takes boxing seriously. According to Raleigh, Garcia is too distracted by his other interests. Romero isn't wrong. Garcia has yet to win a legitimate world title. And in boxing that matters, it's what separates the greats from the guys who just make headlines. Being famous doesn't make you a champion. Delivering in the ring does. Garcia has the power, the skills, the following. But is that enough?
You said earlier today when you're talking to the Ring magazine that Ryan Garcia is not chasing championships. He's basically just wants to be a model. What did you mean by that?
Well, he didn't make weight for his last 4 title fights, and he didn't even try to make weight with Tank, so...
Rolando Roy Romero isn't worried about all the noise surrounding Ryan Garcia's rematch with Devin Haney. He knows what's being said, and he knows Turki Al-Sheikh has already planned for Garcia to fight Haney in October. But to Raleigh, that's just talk. It doesn't change what's going to happen. On May 2nd in Times Square, he's stepping into that ring with full confidence that he's about to ruin whatever plans they have. They can rematch after me, Raleigh said. I'll beat the mess out of Ryan, and they can go ahead and do whatever they want after that.
He just said he's looking past you to fight Devin Haney. That doesn't concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight, that you're just going to be a bump in the road.
He's not even slightly bothered by the idea that people are looking past him. If anything, he finds it funny in his mind. This is exactly what happened when he fought Ismael Barroso. Everyone counted him out. And look how that ended. Rolly believes Garcia is just another guy with hype and a big name. But when it comes to real fights, he doesn't see much substance to Rolly. Garcia is a social media mid fighter, a guy who talks a big game, makes big promises, and puts on a show. But when it comes time to prove something in the ring, he's missing something.
What's the game plan to beat Ryan Garcia?
I don't really got a game plan. I didn't have one when I whooped his ass, so...
Are you talking about it in sparring?
Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
8.
And you think that's relevant to this fight? You think you learned something back then you can take forward to this fight?
Nah, I wasn't really trying to learn that.
He saw how Garcia crumbled against Javante Davis. And he doesn't believe things have changed, even though Garcia beat Haney in April. Rolly isn't impressed. He thinks Haney was weight drained, and Garcia's win doesn't mean as much as people say. And when it comes to all this talk about Garcia fighting Haney again, Rolly just shrugs it off in his eyes. It's pointless, because Garcia won't even make it to October. The way Rolly sees it, this whole fight is being treated like a stepping stone for Garcia. But he's about to flip the script. He's been training harder than ever, and he knows people are sleeping on him. He knows Garcia has the speed and the power, but Rolly doesn't care. He believes Garcia is too reckless, too emotional, and way too easy to bait into mistakes. And when that happens, Rolly is going to land his own shots and make Garcia pay.
Was it Ryan or was it Rolly? Because they both. I ain't gonna lie, Rolly had like. People be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously. I don't know how to say it. Obviously. But yeah, if he don't got no chin now, so Rolly be getting caught. But Rolly can hit, bro. Like he can hit. He's the only person I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks was in his gloves.
Is that the hardest
really,
one? Is that the hardest one you faced throughout your whole career? Is that the hardest one?
Who else I sparred that was like that was Danny Garcia. I sparred Danny Garcia, and that guy, he can hit. Danny, what? He Puerto Rican, huh?
What's even funnier to Rolly is that Garcia isn't even fully focused on this fight. He keeps talking about Haney. And in Rolly's mind, that's a big mistake. Garcia is looking ahead when he should be looking at what's right in front of him. And if there's one thing Rolly thrives on, it's taking advantage of people who underestimate him. I'm not interested. I don't care, I said when asked if he'd fight Haney next, if he beats Garcia. But let's be real, if Turkey Alec offers the right money, Rolly wouldn't hesitate. He knows the game, he knows boxing is about business just as much as it is about skill. And if the opportunity comes, he'll take it.
Devin Haney, but feels like there's a grudge between you and Rolly Romero here. And I seem to remember years ago when you guys were prospects at lightweight. You might have been at junior lightweight at the time, as a matter of fact. There was a lot of talk about a sparring session, and there was John going back years ago between you two. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think we sparred about 8 years ago. It was a little rough sparring, I guess, but he continued to use that sparring to, kind of boost up his career, credit to his point. But I don't have no bad blood to him. I'm here to, do my job and, set up that rematch, but I'm not overlooking him at all. I know that he's going to come to fight. It's a big opportunity on the main stage, so I got to be.
For now, though, he's only focused on one thing: shutting Ryan Garcia down. All the Instagram followers, all the flashy outfits, all the viral moments, none of that will matter once the bell rings. Rolly is coming to fight, and he's convinced that when it's over, people will be talking about him, not Ryan Garcia. Rolando Rally Romero isn't buying into the Ryan Garcia hype. He sees right through it. The way Rolly talks about this fight, it's like he's already cracked the code. He doesn't care about all the noise, the Instagram followers, or the media frenzy surrounding Garcia. To him, Ryan is just another guy who's being handed opportunities he hasn't truly earned.
Rolly Romero, we might have got him all wrong as far as somebody that could sell a fight. That the first promotion with him and Tank, it might have been all Tank. Because ever since that fight, he's been absolutely.
And when it comes to Garcia's confidence, Rye finds it laughable. He's heard Garcia claims how he wasn't even the first choice, how this fight wasn't what he really wanted, how his focus is still on Devin Haney. But to Raleigh, that's nothing but excuses in his mind. Garcia already has one foot out the door, and that's a mistake. You can't be thinking about another fight when you got me in front of you, Raleigh said. That's how you get hurt with all this. Romero doesn't believe Garcia is fully locked in. He sees all the distractions, all the talk about the Austrian controversy, all the social media antics, and in his eyes, that's the difference between them. Raleigh doesn't care about any of that. He's a fighter first. He's coming to fight, period.
Ryan cleans up Rolly?
I do.
Think he wants to fight? Yeah,
I think for both fighters obviously the common opponent right there. I think that both fighters, obviously Ryan just fought Tank. Yeah. I think he'll be better since fighting Tank. Yeah. And then the same thing with Rolly. I think Rolly became better from fighting Tank. I think that they knew certain mistakes that they made. I think they believed in their game plan. Got us all to believe in their game plan. I think they came to this fight with the right adjustments, but took it too far, I guess, for the sake of words. But I think that they'll both be better.
Yeah.
In their fight against one another. I don't know how to.
They're both super raw.
Yeah.
I think Ryan got more talent.
Yeah.
Garcia says he's putting Raleigh to sleep with a left hook. Raleigh shrugs it off like it's nothing. He's seen that left hook before. He knows what's coming, and he knows how to avoid it. To him, Garcia is predictable. You move out of the way, he said, as if it's the simplest thing in the world. And maybe to Raleigh it is. But it's not just about avoiding shots. Rye believes he's going to dictate this fight. He thinks Garcia has a weak foundation both mentally and physically. He's not just talking about the weight issues or the tile shots, though he made sure to take a jab at that too. He's talking about Garcia's entire mental. It in Raleigh's eyes, Garcia folds under pressure. He saw it happen against Dante Davis, and he fully expects it to happen again on May 2. And then there's the sparring history. Garcia might be confident now, but Raleigh remembers what happened when they trained together years ago. He didn't even have a game plan back then, and in his mind, he's still dominated. That's why he isn't worried about Garcia looking past him. He knows me too well, Rye said, and there's something in the way he says it that makes it clear he thinks Garcia remembers those rounds, and deep down, he knows what's coming. While Garcia is talking about Haney, Raleigh is locked in on one thing, proving everybody wrong. He knows most people don't expect him to win. He knows the betting odds favor Garcia, but that just fuels him more. Every time people count him out, he finds a way to turn the tables. And this time he believes it'll be no different in Raleigh's mind. Garcia's focus is his biggest weakness. Fighters who are thinking about their next fight before they even step in the ring usually don't last long. And if Ryan truly thinks he's going to just breeze through Raleigh to set up another Haney rematch, Raleigh plans on waking him up to reality the hard way. Raleigh is also buying into Oscar de la Hoya's prediction. He's heard all the talk Ryan Garcia knocking him out, how this is just a warm-up fight for Garcia before a rematch with Devin Haney, how boxing supposedly needs Ryan to bring life to the sport. To Raleigh, it's all just noise. He's not here to be anyone's stepping stone, and he's definitely not here to play the role of a tune-up opponent. For Haney, this wasn't just about clearing his record. It was about revenge. My main focus is Jose Ramirez, and then lining it back up with Ryan Garcia, Haney said, his tone measured and controlled. Whatever his punishment, that's what it was, and I looked to punish him in the ring. Bill Haney stood nearby, watching it all unfold. He had already made it clear he wasn't happy about waiting until October for the rematch. But now, seeing Garcia talk so freely, he looked even more irritated. Garcia's confidence was unshaken. Despite everything, the no contest ruling, the suspension, the lawsuit, he still talked like he was the clear winner. To him, the world saw what happened in the ring. He knocked Haney down 3 times, he dominated, and no commission ruling or lawsuit could erase that. Haney, though, was looking at things differently. He saw the rematch as a way to put all doubts to rest, to prove Garcia's win was tainted, to make sure the second fight left no room for debate. The crowd at the press conference was fully on Garcia's side. It was clear whose city this was. Garcia didn't seem to mind playing to the crowd. If anything, he thrived in it. Haney, meanwhile, stayed locked in, barely reacting to the jeers. The two continued exchanging words on stage, but it wasn't just about boxing anymore. It was personal, and neither of them was backing down. Haney wanted justice. Garcia wanted validation, and the war of words wasn't ending anytime soon. Even though Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are going back and forth with their heated words, they both have serious fights ahead before they can even think about their rematch. These upcoming fights aren't just stepping stones. They actually mean a lot. If either one of them slips up, the entire narrative changes. For Ryan Garcia, facing Rolando Raleigh Romero on May 2nd isn't just about staying busy. It's about proving he's still sharp, still dominant, and still the same fighter who dropped Haney 3 times in their first meeting. It's about proving he's still sharp, still dominant, and still the same fighter who dropped Haney 3 times in their first meeting. If he loses to Raleigh, it's a disaster. It wouldn't just hurt his reputation. It would kill the hype for his rematch with Haney. Fans wouldn't be as excited to see them run it back if Garcia can't even get past Raleigh. A fighter who has been criticized for his sloppy style and questionable chin. Losing to Raleigh would make people wonder if Garcia was ever as good as he claimed to be. The same goes for Haney and his fight against Jose Ramirez. Haney might be looking ahead to Garcia, but Ramirez isn't the type of fighter you overlook. He's tough, experienced, and has been in big fights before. If Haney loses to Ramirez, it changes everything. The undefeated aura is gone. The rematch with Garcia loses its shine, and worst of all, it would make Garcia's words sting even more because how can Haney demand revenge when he just took an L before even getting back in the ring with Garcia? These fights are more than just warm-ups. They are must-win fights. Both Garcia and Haney need to take care of business first, or their rematch in October might not matter nearly as much as it does now. How do you think all this plays out? And who do you see winning the rematch? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.